Welcome to The Reader, a vlog that reads stories for you.
The Face of Judas Iscariot by Bonnie Chamberlain. Read for The Reader by Davis.
An old priest told me this story when I was very young. I have since wondered many times where it came from. No one has been able to tell me. Centuries ago, a great artist was engaged to paint a mural for the cathedral in a Sicilian town. The subject was the life of Jesus. For many years the artist labored diligently, and finally the painting was finished, except for the two most important figures, the child Jesus and Judas Iscariot. He searched far and wide for models for those two figures. One day, while walking in an old part of the city, he came upon some children playing in the street. Among them was a 12-year-old boy, whose face stirred the painter's heart. It was the face of an angel, a very dirty one, perhaps, but the face he needed. The artist took the child home with him, and day after day the boy sat patiently until the face of the child Jesus was finished. But the painter still found no one to serve as model for the portrait of Judas. For years, haunted by the fear that his masterpiece would remain unfinished, he continued his search. The story of the unfinished masterpiece spread afar, and many men, fancying themselves of wicked countenance, offered to pose as models for the face of Judas, but in vain. The old painter looked for a face that would serve to show Judas as he had envisioned him, a man warped by life, enfeebled by surrender to greed and lust. Then one afternoon, as he sat in the tavern over his daily glass of wine, a gaunt and tattered figure staggered across the threshold and fell upon the floor.
"Wine, wine,"
he begged. The painter lifted him up and looked into a face that startled him. It seemed to bear the marks of every sin of mankind. Greatly excited, the old painter helped the profligate to his feet.
"Come with me, and I will give you wine and food and clothing,"
he said. Here at last was the model for Judas. For many days and part of many nights, the painter worked feverishly to complete his masterpiece. As the work went, a change came over the model. A strange tension replaced the stuporous anger, and his bloodshot eyes were fixed with horror on the painted likeness of himself. One day, perceiving his subject's agitation, the painter paused in his work and asked, "My son, I'd like to help you. What troubles you so?" The model sobbed and buried his face in his hands. After a long moment, he lifted his pleading eyes to the old painter's face. "Do you not then remember me? Years ago, I was your model for the child Jesus." End of the story, The Face of Judas Iscariot by Bonnie Chamberlain. Thank you for listening. If you like the story, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.